Are you ready for some stories? Bernard and I are. Welcome to Bedtime Stories with Mrs. Ferris from Wood Library. Let's get started. Feel free to leave a comment or wave hi. I'd love to know who's watching, but let's find our first book. This is called We're in the Wrong Book. It's by Richard Byrne. He's done a bunch of very silly books. He does the pictures as well, and this is published by Henry Holt and Company. Wonder what it means to be in the wrong book. Bella and Ben were jumping down the street from one side of the book to the other. I win, she said. And then Bella's dog joined in and accidentally bumped them both right off the page. Where's my dog? Said Bella. Where are we? Said Ben. Looks like they're an accounting book because down here it says 9 pencils. And over here, 10 lollipops. We're in the wrong book. Well, let's jump back into the right book, said Ben. But they jumped into somebody else's comic book. We're trying to get back to our own book, explained Ben and Bella. We know someone who can help you, said Mouse. Follow us. So Ben and Bella described their book to the lovely librarian. That must be why I picked this. It has tall buildings, Ben said, and an enormous dog, said Bella. I know the book, she said. It's through here. So they went into a room that had a sign that said history books. I hope this is right, said Bella. She wasn't right. This isn't our book. And that's not my dog. What does it all mean? Asked Ben, looking at the writing on the wall. I think it says, walk this way, said Bella. I like how she's doing the Egyptian walk. But I have to tell you, things just got more puzzling. And when Bella thought she had found the path that would lead them back to their book, oh my goodness, they're in a maze. Instead, it led them to the door of an old cottage in the middle of the woods. Ben and Bella went inside, where an odd-looking lady invited them to stay for dinner. Who is that? The sign says, danger, sharp teeth. Don't swipe here. Oh, thank you, but we really must get back to our own book, said Bella. Ben thought he could see a way back. Thank you, Betsy. Suddenly, Ben and Bella were in a book full of instructions. Well, I suppose we could follow them, said Bella. It doesn't have to be this huge, but they folded a piece of paper in half, and then they folded a top corner down, and then folded the other corner down, and folded the flap up on one side, and the flap up on the other side, and they folded both corners of the flaps inward, and turned it over, and they repeated it, and then they held the bottom, and they pressed it flat, and they folded the bottom up and then turned it over, and they held on to the bottom of the center fold. Oh my goodness, this is very involved. And then they pulled, and look what they made. A boat. Oh, please, help me blow the boat off the page. Should I help? Book ahoy, said Ben. It's the wrong book ahoy, grumbled Bella. Now we're stuck in it. So they stuck themselves in a hot air balloon as it lifted up, up, and away. And the balloon landed in just the right spot because there was a sign that said this way. Oh, but it says this way over here too, and apparently there's some differences between these two pages. Well, I'd love to spend the time looking to see what the differences are, but I really do think that we need to get Ben and Bella back to their book. So they did. They went this way, but it was not helpful. Not a helpful sign at all. We're in a dark, scary book with a monster. I have an idea, said Bella. Quick, follow me. Rip, rip, drip. And they both jumped through the monster-shaped hole. Yay, said Bella. We're back in our book. And when Bella and Bella came back to fix the hole in their book, there was no sign of the monster. Oh, thank goodness, said Bella. Now, where's my dog? Woof. He was the monster, wasn't he? Very silly. Well, should we do a finger play? I think we should try one that you already know, right? We should try, I think, jumping on the bed. Should we have monkeys or should we have dogs jumping on the bed today? Let's try dogs. There were 5 silly dogs who were jumping on the bed. When one fell off, well, he bumped his head, and Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, no more silly dogs jumping on the bed. So 4 silly dogs were jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head, so Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, no more silly dogs jumping on the bed. So 3 silly dogs were jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head, so Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, no more silly dogs jumping on the bed. So that means 2 silly dogs were jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head, so Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, no more silly dogs jumping on the bed. So that leaves 1 silly dog who was jumping on the bed. When she fell off, well, she bumped her head, and Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, no more silly dogs jumping on the bed. So there are no more silly dogs. But I have another story for us. This is one of my favorites. This is called The Squeaky Door. We have a couple different versions of it at the library, but this is by Margaret Reed MacDonald with pictures by Mary Newell de Palma, and it's published by Harper Collins. Do you have a squeaky door at your house? Well, a little boy went to Grandma's house to spend the night, and Grandma said, I have a surprise for you. You get to sleep in the big brass bed all by yourself. But are you going to be scared? And the little boy said, no, not me. So Grandma tucked the little boy in, and she kissed the boy goodnight. Now, when I go out and turn off the light and close the door, are you going to be scared? No, not me. So Grandma tiptoed out. She turned off the light. She closed the door. Squeak! And the little boy began to cry. Oh! Grandma ran back inside. Oh my goodness, were you scared? No, not me. Oh, I think you were scared. How would you like to sleep with the cat? Oh, yes, 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 said the little boy. So Grandma brought the cat from the basket, and she tucked the cat in. She kissed the cat goodnight. She kissed the boy goodnight. Now, when I go out and turn off the light and close the door, are you going to be scared? No, not me. So Grandma tiptoed out. She turned off the light. She closed the door. Squeak. What's going to happen? Wah! Meow! Oh my goodness, were you scared? No, not me. Well, how would you like to sleep with the dog? Yes, yes, yes. So Grandma brought the dog from the doghouse. Oh my goodness, she's putting a nightcap on the dog. How silly, silly, silly. Then she tucked the dog in. She kissed the boy goodnight. She kissed the cat goodnight. She kissed the dog goodnight. Now, when I go out and turn off the light and close the door, are you going to be scared? No, not me. So Grandma tiptoed out. She turned off the light. She closed the door. Wah! Meow! Woof, woof, woof. Oh my goodness, were you scared? No, not me. Oh, I know. Would you like to sleep with the pig? Yes, yes, yes. So Grandma brought the pig from the pig pan. She put him in jammies. She tucked the pig in. She kissed the boy goodnight. She kissed the cat goodnight. She kissed the dog goodnight. She kissed the pig goodnight. Ugh. Now, when I go out and turn off the light and close the door, are you going to be scared? No, not me. So Grandma tiptoed out. She turned off the light. She closed the door. Squeak. Wah! Meow! Woof, woof, woof. Oh, my goodness. Were you scared? Asked Grandma. No, not me. Well, I have an idea. Why don't you sleep with the horse? Yes, yes, yes. So Grandma went out to the stable and got the horse. She tucked the horse in. Oh my goodness, the horse is in pajamas too. And then she kissed the boy goodnight. She kissed the cat goodnight. She kissed the dog goodnight. She kissed the pig goodnight. Ugh. She kissed the horse goodnight. Now, when I go out and turn off the light and close the door, are you going to be scared? Can you say it with him? No, not me. So Grandma tiptoed out. She turned off the light. She closed the door. Squeak. Wah! Wah! Meow! Woof! Woof! Neigh! 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 Kaboom! The bed broke. Oh my goodness. Oh, this will never do, said Grandma. This will never do. So Grandma put the horse back, and she put the pig back. She put the dog back. She put the cat back. And Grandma put little boy in bed with her and Grandpa that night. And the next morning, Grandma got out her tool chest and she fixed that broken bed. And then she got out her oil can and she oiled that squeaky door. Squeak, squeak, clunk, 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 clunk. Squeak, squeak, clunk, 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 clunk. Squeak, squeak, clunk, 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 clunk. No sound at all. And that night, Grandma tucked the little boy in the fixed bed. She tucked the cat in and nobody else. And then she kissed the boy goodnight. She kissed the cat goodnight. Now, when I go out and turn off the light and close the door, are you going to be scared? No, not me. So Grandma tiptoed out. She turned off the light. She closed the door. And she listened. She heard the little boy snoring. She heard the cat snoring. And that's the story of Grandma, the little boy, and the squeaky door. Too bad she hadn't thought of that oil can a bit earlier, right? Well, shall we get our bubble gum out? Can you reach in your pocket? My pajamas have a pocket tonight. And pull out your piece of pretend bubble gum and take any wrapper off of it because you don't want to eat that. Set the wrapper aside, or you can toss it in the trash and then pop the gum in your mouth and you're going to chew it up until it's all soft and squishy. Ready? Okay, put your hand out. I'll count to 3 and spit your gum in your hand. I know it's disgusting, but let's do it anyway. 1, 2, 3. And clap your hand on top of it. And you know what that does? Makes your hands stick together with sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your chin. Well, how do we get it off? That's right, we have to say unstick. Unstick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your arm. Unstick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your cheek. Unstick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your back. Unstick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your nose. Unstick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your knee. Unstick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on Mom or Dad. That means you, Grace. Unstick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, stick it on your foot. Unstick. Sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum, sticky, sticky bubble gum. It's time to throw it in the trash. Okay, well, that was kind of silly. So we're going to have a story about the Two Sillies. This is by Mary Ann Hoberman with pictures by Lynn Kravitz, and it's published by Gulliver Books. Let's get this. This takes place a while ago, I think you can tell, because the milk is delivered by a man with a horse-drawn wagon. Well, Silly Lily saw a cat, and Lily said, "Whose cat is that?" Sammy said, "That cat is mine." And Lily said, "Ooh, I like it fine. Tell me, please, how can I get a cat like that to be my pet?" Well, Sammy said, "Now, this is how. Go cut down those trees right now." Lily said, "Now, why is that? Cut down trees to get a cat?" Sammy said, "That is the way. You must cut those trees today." So Silly Lily cut the trees, and Lily said, "Now, Sammy, please, tell me how to get my cat." And Sammy said, "I'll tell you that. First you have to build a shed." "Go and build it," Sammy said. "Build a shed to get a cat?" Lily asked, "Now, why is that?" Silly Lily just scratched her head. "That sounds silly," Lily said. Sammy said, "That is the way. Go and build a shed today." So Silly Lily built a shed. Pretty nice, don't you think? "Can I have my cat?" she said. "I have built the shed from all the trees. Now can I get my cat now, please?" Sammy said, "Not yet, not now. Now you have to buy a cow." "Buy a cow to get a cat?" Lily asked, "Now, why is that?" "There's a horse right up ahead. Can I buy a horse instead?" And Sammy said, "Nope, that's not the way. You must buy a cow today." So Silly Lily bought a cow. "Sammy, can I have it now?" "I've cut down trees. I've built a shed. I've bought a cow now," Lily said. "Well, take the cow inside the shed and go and milk it," Sammy said. "Milk the cow to get a cat?" Lily asked, "Now, why is that?" Well, she sat down beside the shed. "I'm too tired," Lily said. Sammy said, "That is the way. Go and milk the cow today." So Silly Milly milked the cow, and soon she heard a low meow. Lily wondered, "What is that?" And then she saw a pretty cat, black and white with fur like silk, creeping up to sip the milk. "Sammy, Sammy," Lily said, "come quick inside the shed. Look, a cat has come. What fun! You don't have to get me one. See, I didn't have to do all the work you told me to." Silly Lily jumped with glee. Silly Lily did not see all the work that she did do brought the cat. But Sammy knew. Sammy smiled and he shook his head. "Silly Lily," Sammy said. And suddenly they heard a squeak. "Those are mice!" cried Sammy. "Eek!" Sammy hid behind the cow. "Take those mice away right now." Do you see them down there? Lily laughed and shook her head. "Go and get some hay," she said. Sammy said, "Go get some hay? How will that take the mice away?" Lily said, "I'll show you how. Go and get some hay right now. And here is something else to do. Go and find some catnip too." Well, Sammy did what Lily said. "Now," said Lily, "make a bed and put the catnip right inside it. Cover it with hay to hide it." Sammy said, "That's very nice, but how will that get rid of mice?" "You will see," said Lily. "Now, leave the shed and take the cow." So Sammy led the cow away, and Lily's cat began to play. Sniff the catnip in her bed. "Shut the door now," Lily said. Sammy asked her, "Why is that? Shut the door and leave the cat? With no milk for her to drink? She'll get hungry soon, I think." Lily smiled and shook her head. "Come away now," Lily said. Soon they heard a low meow, and Lily said, "Let's go back now. "She is hungry," Sammy said. But when they found her in her bed, Sammy said, "Why, look at that. Your cat has gotten very fat. And look how happy she does seem. I bet she found a bowl of cream. And look, the mice have gone away. I guess they didn't want to stay. You see, I didn't have to do all those things you told me to." Sammy laughed and jumped with glee, and somehow Sammy didn't see how the cat had gotten fed when he shut her in the shed with the catnip in her bed. "Silly Sammy," Lily said. Now Lily's cat and Sammy's cat are full of mice and nice and fat, and 6 small kittens roll and play and take their catnaps in the hay, while the good old cow inside her stall moo and chews and feeds them all. There they are. And I don't know if either one figured out how the other one tricked them. That's why they're called the Two Sillies. All right. Well, let's see what else we might do. Shall we cook our hot dogs? My light keeps going crazy here, doesn't it? I've got 5 little hot dogs cooking in the pan. The grease got hot and one went bam. So 4 little hot dogs are cooking in the pan. The grease got hot and one went bam. 3 little hot dogs are cooking in the pan. The grease got hot and one went bam. 2 little hot dogs are cooking in the pan. The grease got hot and one went bam. So 1 little hot dog is cooking in the pan. The grease got hot and the one went bam. So now no little hot dogs are cooking in the pan. The grease got hot and the pan went bam. Well, we're going to have a new book from the library. This is called The Suitcase. This is written by Naylor-Ballesteros, and the pictures are by Chris also. I'm not sure if Chris is a man or a woman because Chris is a name for either. And this is published by Houghton, Mifflin. And I have to tell you, I have no idea what that critter is. What does it look like to you? Almost looks like a salamander or a lizard. I'm not sure. A strange animal arrived one day, looking dusty, tired, sad, and frightened. He was pulling his big suitcase. Hi! Hi there! What's in your suitcase? My suitcase? Well, there's a teacup. A teacup? That's a big suitcase for a little teacup. Yes, I suppose it is, but there's a table for my teacup and a wooden chair for me to sit on. There's a table and a chair in your suitcase? Impossible. Well, it's his suitcase, but a table and chair? Really? Yes. And there's a little kitchen in a wooden cabin where I make my tea. That's my home. It's on a hillside surrounded by trees, and on a clear day, you could see the sea. It's all there in my suitcase. But I'm sorry. I'm really very, very tired. I've been traveling for a long time, and I've come a long way, and I must have a little rest. And he did. What a strange animal, said the bird. I've never seen anything like him before. Neither have I. But we really should let him sleep a while. Well, I don't trust him, said the fox. How do we know he's telling the truth? There's only one way to find out. someone pass me a big rock. We're going to break open the suitcase and see what's inside. Well, maybe we should. We need to know the truth, right? You can't do that, though. It's not ours. But in no time at all, the suitcase was open. See, a broken teacup and an old photograph. He lied to us. Well, no. He did say there was a teacup. Yes, and now his suitcase is broken, too. What will he think of us? Meanwhile, the sleeping stranger dreamed about running away and hiding, about climbing over mountains and swimming across deep waters. He dreamed about his suitcase and all that he had inside it. And when he finally woke up, he couldn't believe what the other animals had done. They fixed it, didn't they? Yes. I'm sorry. I broke your suitcase, but we fixed it as best we could. And we've been busy while you were sleeping. We hope you like it. Thank you. It's perfect. There's just one tiny problem. We're going to need more teacups. Now, I'm going to go back and just point out something. If you ever want to know when you're reading this book who's talking, the words are the same color as the animal who says it. So the fox has orange words, the bird has red words, the bunny has yellow words, and the stranger, well, his words are, we have to go to the end again to see him talking, don't we? Just exactly the same color that he is. So I think the stranger has found a place to live and 3 friends who really like him. Enough to share their tea. All right. Well, I think we ought to move a little bit, so we're going to go right to another story. This is called, Can You Move Like an Elephant? So you may have to be standing up to listen to this story. This is by Judy Hindley with pictures by Manya Stojic. And it's published by Barrons. Can you do what an elephant does? Deep in the jungle, the elephants go slow, slow, to and fro, swinging their trunks from side to side. Boom, boom, the elephants go. Can you go like that? Sway from side to side and make your feet go boom, boom. Oh, you might have to get down on the floor for this one. Can you go like a slithery snake? A slithery snake curls up so small and wiggles and wiggles and writhes, twisting her body from side to side. Can you go like that? Can you leap out of reach like a monkey does? Can you go swinging from branch to branch and huddle in snuggly bunches together to cuddle up and chatter and snatch? Can you do a monkey scratch? Oh, sit up very straight now. Can you hold up your head like a peacock does? Can you walk so proud? Can you cry out loud? Ah! Ah! Swishing your tail from side to side? Can you do that? Can you go as slow as a silvery snail, reaching and searching with delicate horns, stretching his stone-colored, moon-colored body, long and skinny and slim? Can you stretch out like him? And then, can you quiver like as quick as a flame, like a butterfly? Wavering flower to flower, silently flickering big, bright wings. Can you flap your wings? Yeah. Can you do that? Can you go like a tiger goes, silently stalking her prey, slinking ever so slowly and low to the ground till she crouches and springs in a glorious bound? Can you do that? Can you go like a startled deer when she picks up her head and freezes? Can you freeze? With fear? And then goes springing away? Can you do that? Can you wheel and whirl like a terrified herd when the tiger is following faster and faster? Turn on your hooves all together like dancers and slip like the wind from her pursuit? Can you shift and turn like that? Can you lift your wings like huge flamingos, brushing their feathers like fingers together in ripples of color that cover the sun, circling the sky until danger is gone? Can you ripple and swing like that? Can you go like a small gray rabbit who dives in his burrow and sinks to his rest, settling soft as a small gray cloud, with his head bending gently to his chest? Can you be as quiet and peaceful as that? Can you sleep as sweet at the end of the day? Can you sleep like that? There's that one sleeping. Yeah. That was good. Nice job. Okay. Well, I think we better have what we're going to have on the flannel board. And I'll warn you, it's kind of a quick one. On a cold, cold night, a man heard a crunching outside his house, and all he could see was two big ears. And then two black eyes appeared under the big, big ears. And then a big black nose appears. Concerned but curious, the man asked, "How did you get such big, big ears?" Much listening, much listening. "How did you get such big, big eyes?" much watching. Much watching. How did you get that big black nose? Much sniffing. Much sniffing. And what brings you to my door? Snowshoes. Those are our stories for tonight. I hope you enjoyed them. We'll be back next week with some more bedtime stories right here on Facebook, and we hope we'll see you then. So, oh, Bernard, we forgot the going to bed book. Oh, my goodness. Should I go get it? It's right over there, I think. Let me go check. Actually, I don't think I even brought it in. So we'll save that for next time. So, Bernard, say sorry. We're sorry, and we'll see you next time.